What's good, my brothers and sisters of the internet? This is Mango Thunderslice broadcasting from planet Earth. Basically, I just was listening to some Jedi Master Freeman Fly talking about, Freemasonry and stuff, and I was smoking a joint, and I just was returning to a topic that I've been thinking about a little bit that I think cuts to the very core of a lot of the energy swirling around the world right now, especially among people who do have their eyes open, which is to say that basically there's a difference between having your eyes open, left and right, and having your eye open, as in the third eye, and able to perceive the greater structure behind the patterning of events, and able to see beyond the random chance coincidence type mindset. Basically, that just, understands that the world is cause and effect. It's not random. It's all based on willpower and the chain of events that acts out of will generate in the universe. And that's what they call the matrix, is this mathematical kind of program that we're living in. And when you act in the world, hang on a second. All right, sorry about that. There's a knock on the door. I just got a new phone. Apparently, I have to upgrade my phone because mine didn't die over the last 5 years I've had it, and now I need to be upgraded just to even live inside the artificial matrix that we've created for ourselves. For example, I can't call an Uber or a Lyft on my old phone. This thing, my anarchy phone, right? Just to let everybody know. It's like my siblings have gone through all these different phones and destroyed all these cracked screens, and yet this one just keeps going. And it just ties right back into the theme that I was just that I'm rolling with, which is that there's such a difference between the things in this world that are built to be consumed, right? Things that are built to be destroyed, like this house. All the houses that we live in, they're not built to last thousands of years. They're built to last like maybe 40 years. Like, I don't know, with the materials they're using these days, it's probably even less than that. But versus like the Parthenon, versus the pyramids, all right? The ancient pyramids. And there's a big difference between the ancient pyramids and like the Egyptian pyramids, which were built, by relatively recent societies, and they're total garbage compared to the ancient pyramids, which are just the massive monolithic ones. And of course, people like to make fun of those of us who question, the existence of the pyramids as, just conspiracy theorists, but it's a fact that no one in this physical reality can explain how those monuments were created. You think they were slaves? You think hundreds of thousands of slaves just made all those to absolute perfection? You think slaves are capable of that kind of labor? You gotta, really twist reality to believe the kind of narrative that we're fed in school. And throughout school I've always believed in magic, like, just kind of that there's something more going on that people don't really get. And school was always telling me basically, the scientific perspective, which is not invalid, but science, you got to understand, is just one branch of the tree that is called philosophy. Okay, science is the hard-nosed version of philosophy, that we can only really know that which we can prove and demonstrate empirically and test and falsify if it's not true. And science is not an authority. It's a mode of thinking where, hey, is this all in my head or is this real? And it's very clear at this point that what we've been made fun of in the conspiracy community as being, just some fake made up thing in our heads, it's now becoming very clear to the people of the world that what we've been talking about is very real, that there is a power structure that hides itself, that coordinates most of the major events that we have called history. And they continue to do so today. But that's really where the drama enters our current act, right? Act 2, as I'm calling it. Which is to say that they're not all on the same team. They're not all in agreement about everything that they do. They, for a long time, they've had kind of a mutual agreement, and that's kind of like what the fiat money system has been based on. Is basically we all agree to entrap and enslave the human species through the fiat paper money system by using their physical bodies, using their existence and their future wealth generating potential as collateral for the national debt of that country. So, for example, the United States borrows against my life and your life, if you're an American citizen, and all of our lives. It borrows against, we are the collateral, okay? And our future tax revenue, you know, the yield, the harvest from their farm, their tax farm, which is what a government is basically a tax farm. It is converting the organic energy of the universe, that energy that we naturally exchange with one another, and converting it into an artificial boxed form that they can then control, right? Or in this case, it's not a box, it's a rectangle, it's a dollar bill. And, you know, money magic is really, is a form of magic. It's been around since Babylon, where you basically, you take the trust of the people, you take their faith, and you basically manipulate it. And, you know, for like a bank, you trust the bank that when you're giving them your money, that they'll protect it. But of course, that's not the way it always turns out, is it? But, you know, because they gamble with it. They lend out more money than they actually have. I can only lend the money that I've got, but if I was a bank, I could lend out freaking 100 times as much as I've actually got. And that's magic. That is not rational thinking. That makes no sense in organic reality. But it is absolutely the basis of the world that we live in. Without banking credit, these buildings wouldn't have been built. Who knows? Like, it is literally the operative prime function of this matrix is banking and the money system, right? Who of us can exist without money? Even the most bohemian of my friends will admit that you need some amount of money to live. None of us can grow everything that we eat. None of us make all of our own clothes, okay? and that's really what we're striving for in this new ethos of Aquarius, but, you know, suffice to say we're still many strides to go in the journey. And so that's basically, I guess, you know, we have a critical moment in this country and in this world, and it's actually the same moment that, you know, ever since nuclear energy was born into this world, we have been on a totally new spiritual playing field. And, you know, even the sites where the American Empire dropped the nuclear bombs on Japan, like, you know, have spiritual significance that basically, through technology, through the splitting of the atom, we have learned how to become more powerful than all the forms of magic. We have the potential to physically destroy the world with the power of the atom. And that level of power has been on this planet before, okay? And the whole Freemasonry tradition is kind of like, at this point, a watered-down version of the remnants of an ancient global religion, what I have called the religion of life, the religion of the power that generates life, the power that generates the light coming from our star, the power that grows plants placed in the soil. Okay, it's all the same. It's all electrical in nature, and we're plugged into something. And that is what they call God or source energy, and it is basically the cause for all of the events. It is the energy being pumped into the system that causes everything to happen. And again, banking is basically harvesting the energy released by the sun, okay? It's basically this, you know, it was designed originally to benefit the people. That's what the pyramids are supposed to be. They're supposed to resonate with the physical landmass of the planet and connect and align the planetary energy with the energy of the sun, first and foremost, but also to other stars, which, you know, as the legend goes, may be the source of the sun's energy. Who knows? As the electric universe guys tell us, that suns are connected by, you know, in somewhat invisible streams of plasma, right? Through the ether, there's these like string lights, and our star is basically, you know, connected to other stars, you know, based on what we can observe in the cosmic microwave background data, okay? There's more than one interpretation than Einsteinian relativity that is absolutely scientifically valid. Hooray, hooray, get with it, my brothers, because the electric universe is basically the validation of all spiritual teachings and the entire modality of the right brain applied to the left brain. You know, they are the interdisciplinary nexus that explains all of the compartmentalized gibberish that the academy has produced for us. And So yeah, that's what this is again. As I keep mentioning, this is a beautiful time. The apocalypse in Greek means the lifting of the veil. Our eyes are being opened, and our eye are being the eye is being opened in the center of the brain, because we will have a global government structure. Okay, very soon. It is actually not a bad thing. What they call the New World Order was a specific agenda, a specific battle plan, if you will, within that, within the general archetype of the secret societies. And, it was basically very malicious. This is where they hear about the Georgia Guidestones and the plan to depopulate 90% of the world in this environmental, holocaust of sorts, setting off some, environmental disaster, some nuclear weapon or something, reducing the population. But some of the other secret societies got wind of that, and they're like, you're basically saying that you're gonna kill off all of my people. Say you're like a Chinese, basically secret society kung fu master, and you hear that basically these European scumbags are planning to just decimate the entire planet with some flu virus, that people can't resist, right? Like, even if you're getting paid off, there's a certain point where something matters more than money, even to the people who you call the Illuminati, whom some people call the Illuminati and other things. Basically, that at the point that it really matters, we are still all human, okay? No matter what the David Icke crowd might say, there's transdimensional entities on this planet, but the elite are not reptiles. They're reptiles in here, okay? They're reptiles as far as their brain wiring. We all have a reptilian brain at the core of our brain that responds for territoriality, okay, and aggression. You're right, and this is exactly the frequency that they want to keep us in. But we're not abiding by that, and we're breaking out of that frequency. And the most revolutionary thing that is happening right now, it's not inside Trump's office. It's in the minds of the people here in America and all over the world who are asking questions that they haven't asked before, that their parents and grandparents didn't even ever imagine, conceive of asking. Okay, we are the generation that is tasked with bringing this whole species and this whole planet into the next chapter, and that's where we build paradise. We rebuild paradise. We have reached the apex of the Kali Yuga, of the Dark Age, as the Indians call it, the Kali Yuga. And now we're starting our slow ascent back to the Golden Age, when we master the force of gravity itself on a biological level, and through manipulation of sound and harmonics, we will actually be able to levitate stones like we did thousands of years ago when we built the pyramids, my brothers. Us and our druidic clan, okay, we were the ones who understood the power of the planet, and that gravity is an electrical phenomenon, and it can be neutralized through certain wave patterns, certain sound patterns. And that is how they're so perfect, all of these ancient monuments, is because they were created using the technology of God, And in the beginning was the Word, right? The entire universe, the entire world was created with a word, with a sound. And that is really the secret, is that how we generate our energy, what energy we are drawing our energy from. Are we drawing it from source, like from God, from the creation of the universe, or are we deriving it from, an artificial source? Are we going to be sorcerers, or are we going to be true magi, true Jedi who, are representatives, ambassadors of the cosmos? And that's really what we're at. We have the people who are aligned with the light, the Jedi, the light side, against the people within government and the media and, Wall Street, and they're darksiders. They worship Satan, and they think they have the power and the authority to basically slaughter and exploit whoever and whatever they want. And they're getting checked right now, and that's a beautiful thing. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. That's my world government rant for today. But basically, as long as nuclear weapons exist, as long as we possess the power to destroy the world, we will always have some form of global government. We need it in order, until we can dismantle all nuclear weapons, we will need some sort of structure, even in an anarchist society. Okay, and the question is, what do we have to do internally within ourselves to find that resolution with our fellow human beings, okay? There's real conflicts, okay? There's real Muslim hatred against Western society, and there's real drone strikes creating that, every day, new and again. And there's real people who are sowing the seeds of destruction just so they can make, a bigger profit for their, defense company. Defense, right? So that's what's up. It all starts and ends right here, is that I am the creator of the world, and I'm not going to devote one single iota of my energy to the military industrial complex, to, basically the satanic forces that purport to rule the living beings of this world. And basically that's what's up. And I hope you don't give them any of your energy either. Or whether you're afraid, or, it's peer pressure because people in your family are programmed, fuck all that. All right, because this is the new age, baby, and people think that they know what that means, but they don't know yet. But we're gonna show them, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Cheers. A little addendum to that video, I realized I hadn't quite completed the point, is basically, there's a very strong, virulent strain of, mania in this country right now, with people still, hating Russia, thinking that Trump is this Russian agent, just basically all this vitriol spewed at Russia, pretending like Vladimir Putin is Adolf Hitler, and basically people, they are exploiting people's fear of, the unknown, and basically dividing us on that basis. And basically they want us to be afraid of Russia, they want us to be afraid of China, they want us to be afraid of all these people, and again, there are real conflicts that we need to be aware of, but the true third eye vision can see basically that the solution is not victory of left over the right or right over the left, but a triangulation, a harmony among those two. Okay, the third point. There's the positive and the negative, and then there's the 0 point, which basically is where the balance is. And that's where we need to find, is the balance. Okay, this is what I like to call my magic hat, right? It's a bowler that I got in Virginia City, and basically I rock it around. And last time I wore it on Halloween, there was a guy at a pub I was at, and he was like, "Dude, are you in the Illuminati?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro, I'm the king of the Illuminati. Nice to meet you, Mango Thunder Slice." And it's just like, we need to reclaim the symbols that they have taken from us. The pentagram is not an evil system, or an evil symbol. It's basically a symbol of physical reality. Basically, the 5, okay, the man is the 5-point star, okay? That's what it represents, is our physical existence. And, the eye in the triangle, that is the eye of the eye of Horus, the third eye, okay? It's not the Illuminati watching us all, okay? It is that triangulation, and it represents basically, basically the balance. And the people who have understood these philosophical ideas have been persecuted by many different factions, most of which tied to the Church of Rome. And basically, so they had to make secret societies to hide basically what was revolutionary knowledge. And that's how it's been throughout the Dark Age. But again, we are coming to a point where we can talk about these things openly without fear of reprisal. Okay, the Church of Rome knows my name, and they won't touch me in a million years. Because they know what I'm really after. And I'm not basically seeking to destroy anyone. There is no opponent, as Bruce Lee says. Alright, I'm just seeking to create a beautiful world for me and my progeny to live in. And everyone who wants to live in peace and happiness on this planet, well, they're going to be able to. And I'm going to make sure of that. And I hope that you'll help me. So, hope you all have a great day. Cheers.